So, Roots of Empathy is a year-long program, and very simply, it's a trained instructor who's not the classroom teacher. The classroom teacher sits around a green blanket with the children and is one with the children, to observe the children, to learn about the depth of their emotional understanding, which we never get a chance to see. So the children reinvent themselves around this green blanket because everybody participates, because nobody says, "Good answer, Johnny." We just say to the children, "Thank you for your question or for your answer." The program goes over a 9-month period. There are 27 classes. 9 of these are with the family, the little baby. There's a class before, the week before the family comes, where the children are practicing their predictive skills. We ask them to think deeply about questions they'd like to formulate, to ask the mother. What do we want to know about this baby? What's been happening? What do you imagine has been happening? Imagination is getting lost. Imagination and creativity are highly prized pieces of each child. So here's a chance for the child to use their creativity and their imagination. We are helping children find their voice. We want them to be able to ask a question, and every question is an authentic question. And the children don't ask questions just to have a chance to be looked at. They ask real questions. And then the visit, the week after the family visit, is a reflective visit, to understand how are we like that baby and how are we not like that baby, and to talk about our own temperament traits. We talk about temperament because it's a way to understand how we're different. With the concept of empathy, it's about being able to feel with someone, to understand how we're the same through our feelings. But we also need to appreciate our differences, or we will never be able to address things like the generational sectarian violence in Ireland or in the Middle East. How, because we're different, we have managed to marginalize groups. We have ongoing genocides, we have racism. We have ways of thinking that group is somehow less human than us. And this whole idea of identifying our temperament traits, just the way we see the world. Anybody who has more than one child at home knows that children have different activity levels, that some children are more intense in their emotional reactions than others, that some children have difficulty with change. They need a lot of preparation. That some children, their first reaction to new experience is to withdraw a little bit and wait to see how others react. And some children are impulsive, and you worry about them because they jump into every new experience without thinking much. So all of these ways of understanding a little baby and talking about it are flipped back to the children's understanding of how we are all unique in many different ways, not just in what we look like, but the essence of who we are and how we respond. So the children who have temper tantrums because they're so upset about disappointment, it's not a character flaw. They're not bad children. They need a lot of help in learning to regulate their emotions. And when your classmates realize, oh yes, this one and this one and this one, they're very intense, and so is our baby. Our baby's intense because our baby cries frequently, loudly, and is difficult to calm down. But nobody says that's a bad baby. But when a child has a temper tantrum or cries very easily, we say that's not good. So the children give themselves permission to understand who they are and to accept and to help everybody. The job of a parent is to take the child you have and help them live in the world we have. But in the classroom, if children can help one another live in the world of education, it goes well for everybody. Here are some of the key research findings. Number 1, decrease in aggression. Well, why should that matter? I guess because aggressive children are at the highest risk for suicide. They are open for addictions more than anybody else. And I think the main thing is that early aggression is a gateway to poor mental health, later antisocial behavior, and self-destructive behavior. So if you can do anything in a preventative way in society to help children from being more aggressive, or better still, to prevent aggression, you have helped everybody. The second key finding is the increase in emotional understanding and social understanding. And that certainly reduces stress levels. And right now they're looking at measuring levels of cortisol. Now, cortisol is a stress hormone in the brain. And when there are high levels of cortisol, children are dysfunctional. They are so stressed that they can't take in or make good judgments. So it's disruptive to their learning, it's disruptive to their lives. But what happens in the Roots of Empathy class, children calm down. And also they're looking at the presence of oxytocin in Roots of Empathy classes. Oxytocin, again, a brain hormone that is often called the hug hormone, meaning children feel relaxed, all of us actually, relaxed and calm. It's a hormone that's released when women are lactating. And it helps children be receptive to learning. And it helps us understand why classroom teachers have told us for many, many years that they teach their most complex concept right after the family visit, because the children are so calm and reflective. Third finding, that you can create more caring and supportive children. What is our goal in life? What do we want for our children? Most parents will tell you they want their children to be happy and productive. If you ask them when the children are in high school, they'll tell you they want them to get a good job. If you push a little bit, they'll tell you they want them to be good people. And they want them to do good things. It's interesting that we ask the children in Roots of Empathy at the end of the year, what would you wish for your Roots of Empathy baby when the baby is your age? And we work with children from 5 years old to 12 years old. So it's very interesting what they say. You know how, as a parent, you always want for your children the best of your childhood, and you don't want them to get the worst of your childhood. And the little children in school are no different. They say, I hope our baby never gets asthma. That's the children who have asthma. The children who have been bullied at some time very often say, I hope our baby is never bullied. The children who don't have a daddy will say, I hope our baby has a daddy. The children who struggle at school, they'll say, I hope our baby's smart and good at school. The children who have trouble with sport, they'll say, I hope our baby's a great sports person. They nearly all say, I hope our baby has a good life. They'll nearly always say, I hope our baby's happy. And they'll nearly always say, I hope our baby has friends. Friends are important in school and in life. You need to have someone, as one child told me, who has your back. That you feel you have a confidant.